Hi, I'm Jason Gorber from ThatShelf.com, and we're here to talk about Good Luck to You, Leo Grande.
Big shelf.
So I was lucky enough to see Good Luck to You, Leo Grande at Sundance. It's one of these films. Look, Sundance is very weird when it comes to dramas. They're usually incredibly depressing or incredibly twee, and it's rare to get something that sort of is broad and comedic, but also has something to say. And I really think that this film is something quite special. It's directed by Sophie Hyde, but it stars Emma Thompson and Daryl McCormack. Now, everybody knows Emma Thompson. She's a giant. Daryl McCormack is new to me anyway. And this is it's a film that toys with the whole, what is it, spring, winter romance, whatever the hell the nonsense is. But it's in the context of Emma Thompson's a late middle-aged woman who has lost her husband and is looking for some companionship. So hires a hooker, and Leo Grande shows up, and as inevitable as in these things, for people who are not simply looking just to get their rocks off, as it were, they start diving into each other's character, and it's really elegant about how the storyline actually plays out. How the two of them sort of connect conversationally before anything actually happens sexually, but you can see the shifts that take place. It very much feels like a very, very good play for the most part. It's very constrained. It's basically in one hotel room for the most part. It's told sort of episodically, as it were, or at least over various visits. But the way that that plays out should feel relatively claustrophobic. It's meant to, but it doesn't feel limited in a funny way. And I think that has a lot to do with not only how it's actually shot in ways that actually make the room interesting, which is a rare thing to do. I mean, you're basically four walls, but somehow where as things go on, the intimacy and the angles actually get much more particular, much more distant at times and close at times based on how the actual connection is with the characters. But the way that the actual dynamics works in terms of them as this sort of pair, as about finding each other, all the subtleties of the human experiences are there. So it's something that's both warm and cheeky and refreshing, but also something that is absolutely moving at the same time. It very much works on multiple levels. Lots of attention will be given to Emma, deservedly so. This is one of those things that people consider brave, literally exposing her emotions and much more in the context of this, showing a sort of unglossed vision of this, something that goes beyond Hollywood. And I'm taking absolutely nothing away from that. But when it comes to Daryl McCormack's performance, I think that because he's essentially, for lack of a better word, playing a supporting role, I think that'll in some ways be overlooked, because what he's doing is equally extraordinary in some ways, because he is doing a very fine dance between being incredibly charming and incredibly charismatic, but still being three-dimensional. And this doesn't work unless the two of them play it off. And in a funny way, he actually reminds me of Brad Pitt. One of the things I love about Brad Pitt that I think, it's not like he needs more attention, but Brad Pitt is very much somebody who's incredibly beautiful, but elevates himself so much in the context of being a supporting actor. Some of the best performances of anybody he's worked with are people who are working with Brad Pitt. And look, Emma Thompson doesn't need so much help, but she's getting it here. She's absolutely getting the support she needs, somebody to play against. And I think that this very much elevates her performance, and I think that credit should be doled out in without moderation for the two of them. I think it's well worthy of your consideration. The film plays out sort of in a relatively straightforward way. There's not so many big grand reveals, other than a couple of reveals. Even those feel like yeah, this is what we're going to get for this kind of film. But nonetheless, it's incredibly rich, incredibly warm, and something that is very much well worth seeing. Again, there's a couple films that have been playing this festival that really made me wish I saw it with a audience, where you could feel the sort of social anxieties and the sense of warmth and sense of generosity you would have got. And this is absolutely one of those. I think that it's perfectly fine to watch, solo on screening. It's not like something in terms of like a big grand production that you're worried about there. But I think that it would have felt even more engaging on the larger canvas. There's something about how that claustrophobia might have played out in a slightly more cinematic level on the much larger canvas. Anyway, there's my look at this film. I hope you enjoy. Please subscribe. Please tune in for the rest of our Sundance coverage and coverage throughout the year. Please follow us on social media. Leave a comment, send a like, do all the stuff you're supposed to do, and we'll see you next video. All the best. Take care.